Harper was a super-duper, extra fluffy, fantastically fast squirrel with a tail that went. Her tail was so big and poofy, it looked like a cloud had landed right on her back. When she ran, it bounced behind her like a parade float, making everyone in the park smile. Harper loved her tail. It was perfect for showing off, for keeping warm, and for making her friends giggle when she twirled it like a ribbon. She lived in the biggest, greenest tree in Sunny Meadow Park, a squirrel skyscraper with twisty branches and cozy nooks for her acorn collection. The tree was so tall, Harper could see the whole park from her favorite branch. She had secret hideouts tucked between the leaves, and her acorns were stacked in neat little piles, ready for snack time or sharing with friends. Every morning, Harper would stretch her tiny arms and legs, yawn a big squirrel yawn, and shout, "Hooray for today!" at the top of her lungs. Then, with a burst of energy, she'd zip down her tree, her tail streaming behind her, ready for whatever fun the day might bring. She never knew what surprises were waiting, but she was always excited to find out. Today, the sun was shining extra bright, the birds were singing their happiest songs, and Harper was determined to find the best adventure ever. The whole park seemed to sparkle with possibilities, and Harper's heart beat a little faster with excitement. She scampered past a line of serious ants marching in a row, and a sleepy snail slowly making its way across a leaf, her nose twitching for excitement. She greeted every critter she saw, waving her tail and saying hello, because Harper believed every day was better with friends. "Adventure, here I come," she squeaked, her fluffy tail giving an extra big. With a leap and a giggle, Harper dashed into the bright, beautiful morning, ready to discover what wonderful things the day would bring. As Harper bounced through the grass, she heard a tiny, sad sound. She peeked under a daisy and found a little hedgehog named Horace, looking miserable. "Are you okay, Mr. Hedgehog?" Harper asked gently. Horace shook his head. "No, I have a thing stuck on my prickles." He pointed to a big red plastic bead wedged on his back. "I tried wiggling and jiggling, but it won't come off," he sniffled. Harper's eyes sparkled. "Don't worry, Horace. I'm a super-duper helper. I'll get that thing off your back." This was a prickly little problem, but Harper was ready to help. Harper dashed off and returned with a giant green leaf. "This is a super slippy leaf. I'll slip the bead right off." She carefully wedged the leaf under the bead and pushed, wiggled, and grunted. The leaf bent, crumpled, and finally collapsed. But the bead didn't budge. Harper frowned at the crumpled leaf. The super slippy leaf was not so slippy. Horace sighed. It was a good try, a very leafy try. But Harper's tail perked up. A super-duper helper never gives up. Time for plan number 2. The adventure was just getting started. Harper grabbed the stickiest raspberry she could find. "This is a super sticky berry. We'll stick it to the bead and pull it off." She pressed the berry onto the bead and pulled with all her might. The berry stretched, wobbled, and then, splat, burst, leaving a sticky mess, but the bead still stuck. Horace giggled. "Now it's a fancy, fruity bead." Harper licked her paws. The super sticky berry plan was a yummy bust. But she grinned. "Don't worry, I always have another plan." 2 tries down, but Harper's determination was stronger than ever. Time to call in the team. Harper knew she needed help. She had already tried her best ideas, but the stubborn bead was still stuck. Sitting quietly, she realized that sometimes even the bravest adventurers need a little backup. "Horace, it's time to assemble the super-duper helper team," she declared, her voice full of hope and determination. She called out, and soon Sheldon the snail, 3 bouncy bunnies, and all her woodland friends came running, eager to help. Wise Professor Hoot. The owl swooped down, adjusting his tiny glasses, and joined the growing circle of friends. Harper explained the stuck bead and the failed plans. The bunnies bounced with excitement, suggesting tickling, singing, and even building a ladder out of twigs and leaves. Ideas flew around like butterflies. Professor Hoot examined the bead, peering through his spectacles. A most curious conundrum, he mused, tapping his beak thoughtfully. The group fell silent, thinking hard. Then, Sheldon finally spoke up, his voice slow but sure. Maybe we spread the prickles apart. Everyone paused, considering his gentle wisdom. It was a brand new idea. Make space instead of using force. Harper's eyes lit up with excitement, and the team buzzed with energy at the thought of trying something different. That's it! The Wiggle Apart plan! Harper cheered. The team got ready, each friend eager to play their part in this clever new plan. Each friend took a gentle hold of a prickle, careful not to hurt Horace. Professor Hoot, ever the leader, gave clear instructions so everyone knew what to do. On my count, 1, 2, 3, he called, and everyone held their breath, ready to work together as a team. It was time for teamwork, their best chance yet to save the day, and Harper felt hopeful with all her friends by her side. The bunnies and Harper gently pulled the prickles apart while Horace held still. Wiggle your prickles, Horace, Harper squeaked. Horace wiggled left, right, and did a little shimmy shake. Suddenly, pop! The red bead flew into the air and landed softly in the moss. The bead was free. Horace's back was back to normal. The super-duper helper team cheered, bunnies hopped, Harper flipped, and Sheldon smiled wide. Professor Hoot hooted, hoo-hoo hooray! Teamwork saved the day. The Wiggle Apart plan had worked. Everyone celebrated their victory together. Horace twisted and turned, trying to get a good look at his back. He wiggled and squirmed, feeling a little nervous. But then, with a big sigh of relief, he realized there was no bead, no sticky goo, just his perfect shiny prickles. He couldn't believe it. All the worry and fuss had disappeared thanks to his wonderful friends. It's gone! You all did it! He cheered, rolling into a happy, excited ball. Horace bounced around, feeling lighter than ever before. He giggled and spun, his heart full of happiness. The other animals clapped and cheered, proud of their teamwork. Thank you, Harper! Thank you, everyone! Horace beamed, his eyes sparkling with gratitude. He knew he couldn't have done it alone, and he felt so lucky to have such caring friends by his side. Harper puffed out her chest, feeling extra proud. That's what friends are for. When we work together, we can solve any problem, no matter how sticky or tricky it seems. The other animals nodded, agreeing with Harper's wise words. Professor Hoot nodded sagely. Many minds and paws make light work, he said, his glasses twinkling. When everyone helps, even the biggest problems become small. The bunnies hugged each other tightly, and even Sheldon the turtle, who was usually a bit shy, joined in the group hug. Laughter and joy filled the air as everyone celebrated their success together. Harper turned to Horace and asked gently, "Do you want a hug?" Horace hesitated, feeling a little shy and worried about his prickles. But Harper smiled warmly and said, "Don't worry, we'll be careful." And so Harper gave Horace a gentle, super-duper helper hug. It wasn't prickly at all, just warm, soft, and full of friendship. All the animals cheered, knowing that helping each other made their forest a happier place. Hooray for helping, hooray for hugs, and hooray for friends.